Okay, hi everyone. This is Benny Boo. I am one of the coaches for the Old World Premiership in Trouble, wherever it is. So I'm going to do a bit of a precap today on the Old World Premiership, which is the first division of Trouble, and we are going into our third season. So this is the second season in which we have got the league table style format. As it stands, there are 4 returning teams and 4 teams that have been promoted because we had quite a few people either drop down or re-roll at the end of last season. So what I'm going to do first is just look through the teams, have a look at their team composition, and talk about where they've come from and how they're doing it in preparation for this season, and whether or not I think they're going to do any good. A little bit of a background about me: I've been playing for about a year, so I'm not that experienced with high TV teams, which some of these teams are starting to get towards. So I will offer the insight that I can. So the first team we're going to look at is Mortal Kombat, since they're the first team on the roster. So their coach is Kornos, and he is Kemri. Now I have already had a look at this team. So they have been promoted from the championship. So if we have a look at their history, in fact statistics, you can see that they've got quite a lot of wins, 5 draws and 4 losses, which is fair enough. And it looks like based on that, they were present for season 1 as well, because that's about as many games as these teams have all played. I'm not sure what their final position in the league table was. I know that the Lizards did really well, and also the Goblins, so these guys must have came in 3rd or 4th. You can see here that Mortal Kombat, they are the Rip Lim even are one of the other teams that have been promoted. Same with the Laconian Draconians and also the Jolly Nice Boys. So, but anyway, let's have a look at the roster. So the first thing I noticed about this team was that they have got a full cohort of 16 players. Lots of skeletons. The team doesn't look massively developed, with the exception of the Thrower here, who, if we have a look at his skills, he is developing into a passer. He's got diving catch as well, so sort of quite a good utility player. He's got the Blitzra with Dauntless. That will be good against some of the bigger teams in this league, like the Lizards and the Orcs. Kick, dirty player, movement up, skeleton. So whether or not some people might consider him a bit bloaty, at least he's got all of that, utility use in one player. I'm personally a big fan of dirty player, and kick if I'm on a high mobility team, which this is not, so I don't know if I would actually take kick. I know I wouldn't do that with my Orcs. He's got piling on Tomb Guardian, got a bit of guard. Now I don't want to talk about where I think people are going to play straight away, but one of the things you will notice is that a lot of these teams don't have a massive amount of guard, and I'll maybe talk about that when I get to the 2 Orc teams who are returning from the Premiership last season. So I don't know much about Kornos. I haven't played him before, but that looks like a really tough team to wear down. So I don't envy anybody that's going to go up in a bash war against them, especially with the Tomb Guardians. Next up is my team, the Bad Ratters. So this is my first Skaven team that I've played in a league. I started off in Rebel Rookie League with Orcs, so I thought I'd change things up and try a Dash team. Not really much to say about them. They're pretty thin on the ground. I've got a nice claw storm vermin, who I hope nobody's going to kill, because I think he's the only claw piece in the league. My MV10 guy has got MNG from the last warm-up game, which is not great for me. Got a nice AG5 leap gutter runner as well, and then my thrower, who is looking pretty bloated at the moment, but we will see how the team goes. I've just bought Knuffles Alter, so my kind of plan for this season is to keep TV lowish and hopefully induce some star players and bribes, etc., to kind of cripple people, and maybe some wizards as well. I placed 5th last season, so just above the drop zone, in what was quite a tough league. Some really good players, so we'll talk about them more as we come to them. I'm sorry, Azzy, but I do not know how to pronounce your team's name. Hurt 55. So he was in the Premiership last season. He is probably quite a well-known coach, since he has got his special tournament, which I still don't understand the rules. I'm not sure if he does either. I drew with Hort 2-2 last season, and I actually felt like that was a victory, and he felt like he was lucky, so I guess it was a really good game. You can see here that he's gone for quite a traditional Orc build, which I think is quite clever, especially because now this league is going to be a lot more bash orientated. Last season it was 2 or 3 bash teams and the rest like Elfie. So I think he's going to do well against the other bash teams. You can see that he's got block guard and mighty blow and tackle on all of his blitzers, with the exception of an AG4 guy who you know, is looking pretty good, great for picking up loose balls. His Black Orps, he's gone for mighty blow, and I think most people would be like, oh, you should be getting guard, but it's probably because the fact of the matter is there wasn't much bash last season, so he's kind of built his team to cater to crippling elves or other bash players. And then he's taken a troll as well. I'm quite fond of trolls if you use them right. So he's got grab, he's got stand firm, really good sort of pivot to play his team around. I think he's going to do really well this league, because I think he's just got more guard and he's got loads of mighty blow, so he's going to be able to outbash other teams, especially with the troll, which I like to take for teams like Lizardmen, which there is one just promoted. So he could definitely be top 3 this season. Vroek, who was nearly the reigning champion, so I think he was a runner-up last season. He lost to the winner of the Australian League, I think, Skaven player. He has also got Troll, which I think is a relatively new addition, actually. I'm not sure if he had a Troll when I played him. So his team is a lot less, I would say, standard Orc build. So I think he might be just having fun with his team. Treble is obviously about having fun more than trying to cripple everybody. So he's got pretty classic blitzer. He's got an MB +1. We've got a blodge tackle 1, standard dirty player lino, thrower, which is pretty standard if you're not rolling doubles or anything on the thrower, I think. Leader, kick-off return, all good. He's got dodge on a black orc, which, again, long term, I can see that being a really good thing, but initially does slow things down progression-wise. He's got a goblin, and obviously he's picked up a troll with guard as well. So, I mean, I like the look more of Hort, but Vroek is probably one of our most experienced coaches. He has a very strong record. Let's look at his stats here. 10 wins, 1 draw and 3 losses. So he wins most of his games. And he absolutely eviscerated my team last season. I'm not sure if I had even a line of scrimmage left on at the pitch at the end of the game. In fact, you can probably see. Let's have a look. Oh, 2-1. So the scoreline doesn't suggest how bad it really was. So again, Froek, I believe, won this division last season. He just pipped Cos Alex's Dark Elves. So top 3 again easily, could well win this. But there is more bash in the league this season, and his team is not really been developed. Well, it still could easily develop to outbash people. I mean, he's got the troll, but he has had more SSP on, the thrower than anyone else. So we'll see, but pretty strong team. Next one is Ceramol. So he is one of the Grand High Wizards of, I probably shouldn't say that, of Trouble. So if you've got any problems, he's one of the people you can go to. He managed to win, I think it was something like 8 wins and 1 draw in Division 2 last season, which is insane for a Goblin team. I mean, look, I think his plan is similar to mine. Keep TV low and use the bloat of the other teams against them, because he's going to want to be inducing bribes, star players, wizards, etc. But I mean, the fact that he's got such a record is scary. With a what most people consider a fun team. None of his players really stand out. So again, I think that's partly because he's trying to keep TV low. Maybe he's trying to get doubles. He might start to fire player, goblins if they're not getting doubles or skill ups, by the 2nd level. Sidestep here. So I think the plan here is just to make the most annoying pieces ever. Blodge step is just hellish to play against, like elf teams. So watch out for Ceramon. I think he's going to cause a lot of upsets. Driplim. So this is the 3rd and final Orc team. This is actually got the highest TV, I think, in the division. So yes. Again, these guys I haven't played again. I don't know much about Nishkoban. I hope I'm saying his name right. History. Again, look, they got beat 3-2 by the Goblins of Doom, and then they have won most of their games, it looks like. So 6-2-4, again, nice record. Team roster, nice. I mean, look at that blitzer. He's obviously the ball carrier. You've got dodge and edge up with sure hand. So that guy is just about the perfect ball carrier, really, for an orc. The only thing better now would be maybe sprint or strength up. Another dodge blitzer. So again, these guys are going to be alive for a long time. Stand firm, good. He's got a throw of edge up as well, so he can actually play ball with these two. He's taken a goblin as well. Again, a lot of people say if you're going to take a troll, you may as well take a goblin, if it's as your 12 or 13th or 14th player. Not much development on the Black Orcs, and again a fresh troll. So it looks like everybody's sort of looked and said, "Oh, I'm going to be in a bash league this year. I need to get a troll to make my team just, be able to fight that fight." I know that I traditionally struggle with lizard men when I'm orcs, and I like to have a troll to play them. And there's the lizard man team coming up. Don't know much about Driplim, so we will see. I'm not going to make any predictions about them. Laconian Draconians. Again, these guys were promoted, so I don't know much about them. This will be my first game against them. You've got your full cohort of Saurus. He's missing 2 and a skink, so his team value should probably go up significantly when they come back. And he's actually missing his equivalent to my MV10 Gutter Runner, which is nice. So we've both lost our one turn scorers. He's got strength plus skink, that's nice. Fairly standard. Oh, an edge plus skink. That guy, if we were doing bounties, I would say put a bounty on him straight away, because stunty, edge 4, dodge is just horrible. He'll be so good at just getting where he wants to go. So we'll see how this team goes. I think they are going to struggle against some of the bashier orcs who have got a bit more guard on their team, because they just, I mean, to be fair, that Saurus is about to level up. But I would be, thinking I need to get some guard on this team, just to make them last a bit stronger. So we'll see how they do as well. Stats 6, 9, 1, 1. So this guy, Grumblekins, I think he's a veteran as well. Don't know much about him, but I've seen his name around a lot. He's obviously a very good coach, so I wouldn't have any concerns about where he's going to place. He's probably going to be in contention for that top spot. But again, I can only really make accurate predictions on the teams I've played and watched play. The last player in our division is King Carlos, Fenris Fanatics. So these guys were in it last season. I know that he was actually thinking about re-rolling because he was worried about, the collapse of the Glass Cannon Norse. But he's decided to stick it out. He may get a lot of joy against some of these slower. I mean, we've got 3 Orcs teams, a Lizard team, the Norse, and then Khemri, and then you've really only got the Skaven and the Goblins, who are not big strong teams. So there's going to be a lot of punching this season, and he's got piling on Berserkers who are going to be doing lots of punching. He's got his runners, which I think will give him an edge over those slower 4 teams. Strength 5 Werewolf Man, who is just, he's got 2 big guys essentially, and this one is excellent. Strength 5's Frenzy. But you can see his team is a little bit thin on the ground, so he may want to be starting to get a bench. The Yeti is new. I'm not sure if he had a Yeti before and it died. So we've got a lot of fresh big guys. Everybody's looking to outbash each other, I think, this season. King Carlos, I think he finished 4th or 3rd last time round. I don't have the actual league table up, but I'm fairly confident he's going to do well. The only problem is that now that the league is, we've got so many good coaches, I wouldn't be surprised if my team would, go into a death spiral and get demoted. Not that I might win some more games than I have been. But yeah, I'm not too worried about King Carlos's team, because he's got the potential killing in the Berserkers. He's got the strength in the Wolfman. It's just whether or not that AV7 decides to break, and he just ends up being pitch cleared. One other thing to comment on is the lineman here. You've got sure hands, accurate, and pass. So he has made a thrower here from that lineman, which is pretty clever, because I don't think they have any bespoke throwers on their team. I think that's it. Now, if you have a look at the schedule, I know I am due to play on Tuesday. I think the Goblins and the Orcs are due to play next weekend, off the top of my head. Now, these 2 coaches are both really good, so I can see that being a really close game. I'm hoping I can beat the Lizards. Having the fact that they're missing 2 Saurus and their best skink means that I really should give it a good go. Mortal Kombat will be playing Fenris Fanatics and Norse v Khemri, and that might not happen until a bit later on, because I know they were both away or away from their computers, one being away and one having a dodgy computer or something. So that might be closer to roll. I would maybe say the Khemri, because I think that the Norse are just going to struggle to to win the numbers fight, but the Norse have got that added dimension of speed, and yeah, so difficult to say, but I'm going to say Khemri. I think they're going to outlast them. I want to say me, but I'm going to say draw for lizards versus rats. The orc mirror, of which there are going to be 3, I'm going to go with Hort because they've got more guard and more mighty blow. I think Azzy's blitzers are probably the best orc blitzers in the league, and I think he's going to win because of that. And then the goblins versus the orcs. I mean, I haven't really seen Ceremon play, but obviously, 8 wins and 1 draw or whatever is approaching like legendary level for goblins against other teams. So I'm gonna have to go with Froic because I think he's not gonna make those mistakes. He will get rid of that chainsaw boy as fast as he can, and so I'm gonna say Froic, maybe 2-1. And then for winners, I think it's 2 down. I'm not going to be able to predict who goes down. I think I will probably finish bottom half of the table, but you never know because I'm in a unique position where I've got the fastest team, the only real agility team, just with the exception of the lizards, I guess, and one of the orc teams has got quite a bit of agility. For winners, I think Azzy might take it this time. I think his team is probably in the best position as far as development, and then possibly the lizards, because I think once he gets his players back, their skinks will just do their job and outperform the slower bash teams. And then that's it. So I'm calling Hort to win and maybe Laconian Draconians to play second, but it's very patchy. Who knows? I think it's going to be a really interesting league this season because last season there was only 3 real bash teams, and now we've got 6. So they're going to have to start developing their teams to counter each other, which I don't think they really did last season. So we will see, and I may well do some recaps later on in the season if I can be bothered. I think that's it. Best of luck to everybody, and I look forward to seeing how the board looks when we roll next Monday. Thanks a lot.